right, thanks for clicking on Last Cup Live right here on News Center Maine Plus. It is Monday, the 15th of September.
All right, so we'll start as we normally do, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty. So we'll start with some stories we're following today. There will be no classes or vocational programming at Scarborough High School today following the death of Assistant Principal Jacob Brown. The superintendent sent a message to families yesterday. The high school will be open starting at 10 this morning for counseling only. There will be a 2-hour delay tomorrow, and then things return to the normal schedule on Wednesday. We'll have more information about after-school activities on our website.
The Maine Speaker of the House, Ryan Facto, was confirmed to be the target of a bomb threat. His office says police received a call last week claiming an explosive device was in Facto's home in Biddeford. The FBI was involved with the investigation. Turns out there was no danger. Facto says the political division in the United States is getting far worse. This threat came one day after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot to death out in Utah.
Police say the Bridgeton community is safe this morning after a shelter-in-place order over the weekend. You might have received an alert if you were in the area around 7:30 yesterday. Bridgeton police say that they were investigating reports of gunshots in the woods off Kansas Road. The police chief tells us they used drones to search but did not find any threat. Police lifted that order around 9 a.m.
The city of Bangor is holding a special city council meeting tonight to elect a new chair. This after the previous chair, Cara Pelletier, stepped down because of personal attacks. Pelletier was elected to the council back in 2022, served as the chair for 2 years. She did submit a letter of resignation last Tuesday, 2 months before her term was supposed to end. Pelletier said in the letter that she is proud of the work she's been able to accomplish, and she thanked her fellow councilors and the city staff for all the support, adding that the year has been, quote, exceptionally challenging for her, and she says that this has impacted her well-being and her family. The new chair will be chosen from the remaining councilors. They will serve in that role until November.
Leaders with the Bath Area Food Bank say they plan to discuss its future this week. The board of directors says a loss of funding and an increase in visitors has already impacted the scope of the pantry's services. Starting today, people who live outside of the service area will only be able to receive an emergency box of canned goods and one-time access to the outside tent. A list of towns covered in the service area is on your screen now. The food bank says they were getting about 700 visits in June alone, a significant percentage of which were from outside of the service area. All right, Todd, bring us a look at that forecast. Another good one today.
Another great one. Yeah, and a lot of this week looks amazing. We'll start with temperatures. It's a little chilly, you know. I mean, it is September, so you're going to get these kind of cool starts. It's 39 right now in Holton, 49 Bangor, 57 Portland. A little bit of fog out there, burning off very fast. Big high coming down from Canada with glorious weather. It'll keep the low down by the Carolinas there, and the front back through Minnesota there. So we keep the good stuff going. By midday, it's going to be feeling great. Temperatures will be rising up into the lower 70s. There won't be much wind today, although it does turn lightly onshore, and there won't be any humidity at all, really. It's very dry still. This evening, things cool off a little bit where you're going to be reaching for that layer again. So there it is, clear and cool, sunny and pleasant midday, and beautiful this afternoon. Inland areas hit 75. It's really similar tomorrow. Wednesday looks great. It does get a lot hotter later this week, especially on Thursday. That's the day that's probably the warmest of them all. And then we do get a taste of autumn. Saturday, 66 degrees, and Sunday morning, probably dealing with more widespread frost. We've had a touch of it this season, here and there, but this looks like it would be, way more. There'll probably be some frost advisories, maybe down to the coastline, but we'll see. It'll be cold.
Otherwise, amazing.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Very nice.
Okay, so how was everyone's weekend?
Good. It was a good weekend. We didn't have any plans going into the weekend.
Don't you love that?
No, I can't stand that.
Really?
No, I love to know, like on Monday, that I've got something going on Friday night or Saturday night, so I have something to look forward to.
Oh, I'm that way.
It gets me through the week.
95% of the time.
Oh, I can't stand that.
And then 5% of the time, I like to know that I have nothing, no obligations, because it always fills in anyway.
No, I know that. I just, if
You
I don't
want
have
something tangible.
Yeah, because because Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, they all really suck. So I need something. I need Friday night and Saturday
so
night.
you went in with no plans.
Yeah, so it was like, I was like, oh, this is going to be, but it turned into awesomeness.
Okay.
Let's see, the boys soccer team had a game, and I do the announcing for the boys side at the high school. So they had a home game Friday night, so went to that. After that, came home. My wife made an awesome dinner, and I don't think I have a picture of it, which is unfortunate, but I should have taken a picture of it. It was so good. It was like this pasta dish. You probably would have liked it. It was like Marry Me. It was like a Marry Me pasta dish. You know the Marry Me chicken. You know that recipe. It's got like sun-dried tomatoes, a little bit of cream, a little bit of chicken stock. There's like Parmesan cheese. It's a very common one.
I've heard of it before.
Yeah,
I've never made it.
But she used I think it was they were chicken meatballs. They were chicken meatballs, not beef.
Okay.
And it was like angel hair pasta, and it was so friggin' good. And then I got on my bike and rode over to a buddy's house at like 10 o'clock and played poker till 3 in the morning. I didn't get home till 3:15 in the morning. It was pretty brutal. Well, Saturday I was hurting. I was hurting on Saturday. But I rallied and had a great Saturday night too.
Okay, so that's
yeah,
fun.
it was good.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Any winning hands?
I think buy-in was $100, and I think I left with like maybe like $140, $140. So I didn't lose money.
Okay.
I was down big actually right out of the gate.
Did you ever look at the watch to see what time it was?
No, it was like I was in Vegas.
Interesting.
It was like they were pumping oxygen into my buddy's basement.
So,
And there was just like drinks coming for free. It was amazing.
I asked
there you go.
because there's a famous Guttner story. So back in the day when he was way more fun, Todd used to play poker with me, and whenever he had
Oh,
a
we're gonna talk
really
about that.
good hand, he would be like, "What time is it?"
Oh, I do.
You know what? Yeah, I gotta go soon. You know
So
what?
Goldie.
So I'm just gonna go all in.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
full. Like everybody knew, like that was his tell.
Yeah.
If he's like, it's getting late, I gotta
Right.
go. I'll bet.
so
and we're
funny
like,
you say that.
full across the board. That was
so
like
funny you say that, 'cause
we called it the Guttner.
Like I played with you, we played for years and years and years, so you knew all my tells. But these guys I've only played with a couple of times, and they don't know that tell. So I played that one a lot, and it worked really, really well.
Oh my gosh! So it's not actually a tell. It's
just my style.
It's a
habit.
It's a strategy.
It's
yeah.
a strategy that's not going to work after like the second or third time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
It
a
might
tell
work
is when you
once.
do something.
Good point.
Like
That
when
you don't realize you're
right,
giving it away.
Right, and
Yeah.
you're like actually not
I know I
meaning
do.
to tell people, but
Exactly.
you use that.
I know what I'm doing.
Because you're being
it became
manipulative.
so funny. Every
Yeah.
time he'd say, "What
Yeah.
time is it?" everybody would just instantly fold.
That's amazing.
Do you mind if I talk real quick about this
No,
pickleball
of course,
thing?
go ahead.
We showed a picture of pickleball court because I played on Friday. I played yesterday morning too. But there's an event coming up, not this Saturday, but the following one, the 27th. And it's a big fundraiser for the Maine Credit Union's campaign to end hunger. You know, since 1990, they've raised $15 million for various food pantries and ending hunger in the state. We just ran a story on that, right?
That's amazing.
The one in Bath that's
yeah.
having problems.
Yeah.
So I would assume that money that's gathered from an event like this one coming up on the 27th would go to something like that. It's the CCFCU, so that's Cumberland County Federal Credit Union, Ending Hunger Pickleball Tournament. It's on Saturday, September 27th from 8 to noon. Every level of play, so from beginners to not pros, but the higher level pickleball players. It's $50 for each entrant. You'll play a bunch of games. They have some rewards. There's going to be snacks there, that kind of thing. It's at the Pickler in Westbrook, and if you'd like to register, you can go to westbrook.thepickler. So that's THEPICKLR. There's no E in Pickler.com. And you can register there and bring your friends. I'm going to be in it playing with one of my buddies, my partner that I usually play with. So we're trying to get more people to sign up, and all proceeds go to ending hunger in Maine.
That's great.
Yeah.
Direly needed
Yeah.
need. I don't know what I'm
And
trying to say. It's a cause that has dire need right now.
And I'll talk about it again I'll talk about it, over the coming days because it's still about 10 days away. We've got this weekend and then the next weekend. But once again, it's Westbrook.thepickler, PICKLR.com, and you can register there.
Sounds
Thank you.
good.
What'd you do? You had your man's birthday this weekend.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so it was Shannon's birthday, and it just so happened
We have
that
shared custody. I got to spend Saturday with Shannon. She got to spend Sunday. with me.
which his actual birthday was. Yeah. So
That was his present.
I was his president.
I was going to say.
yeah, he's pretty good at it. So anyway, so Friday night, his company was having a booze cruise.
Oh, fun.
The one that goes from the porthole. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, Casablanca?
Yes. And it was the first time I had been on that, I think. Sometimes
Sure.
you do things and you can't quite remember
I know what you're
that you
saying.
did them.
Especially a booze cruise.
Anyway, yes, but
I've never been on this 19 times. How about the lady from Booth Bay?
yeah. Anyway, so all I got was
Good to see you again, Sharon. I've met you.
Okay, are you done?
No, but go ahead.
So the only pictures I got were of the beautiful
sunset.
Portland skyline sunset. But I have to give kudos to the Casablanca because it was really fun. The food was so good. It was
Really?
all past hors d'oeuvres,
Oh,
which
good.
is right up my alley. Love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The bartenders were really good. And of course, the scenery. I mean, you're in Casco Bay. It doesn't get any better than
Which
that.
night was this? Friday or Saturday?
This was Friday night.
Friday night.
She was ready to eat at that point.
Oh,
Right?
because
you,
after
you,
my
you talked about that.
9-day cleanse
that's
that
right.
wrapped
So
up
it
on
timed out
Thursday.
perfectly.
Yes, yes.
So, were you kind of a lightweight because you had been cleansing?
You know what's weird? I drank a couple of those. What are they called? The Sunside
Sun
or
sippers?
They're like the
iced tea
Sun
vodkas?
Cruisers.
Yeah.
Sun Cruisers,
Sun
yeah. They're like the
Cruisers.
high noon
I
iced
love
teas.
those.
And then
but
there's
they're
another
so
brand also, but
High
it's
noon iced tea.
not High Noon, but it's another brand that's like that. But anyway,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's usually iced tea based. Sometimes it's iced tea and lemonade, which is my favorite. It's like an Arnold
like
Palmer
Arnie
vodka.
Palmer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, sure.
I had a couple of those, and I wasn't
Oh, wow.
feeling it that much, but it might be those. I feel like those are that way anyway. Those
they're like
canned
having a beer.
seltzers and stuff.
Yeah, they're like
I
having a-
guess, but I think without the
Like a-
carbonation,
Not
it helps.
an IPA beer, like a lighter beer. Like
Yeah.
having a Bud Light or
Yeah,
Budweiser.
but I feel like even beer hits me harder than that. I think it was the lack of carbonation. But regardless,
Yeah.
no, I was fine. I mean, it's not like I drink every night anyway. I don't have a high tolerance. I only have a few on the weekends, so I don't have a high tolerance anyway. So
Same. I only have
just
a
because
few on
I
the
went
weekends.
through. Just because I went through a 9-day cleanse, it was more about
that's
the
what I was
fact
curious about.
that, yeah.
So no
yeah.
typical Sharon goodbye on this one where we don't know where you are and you've been in bed for 2
Well,
hours.
also Shannon is kind of a higher up in his company, so I had to
you
be
had to you had to
on.
behave.
Yes,
Behave for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
yes, I had to be.
That's not expected.
Not my
Good.
typical me. So that was Friday. That was really fun, actually.
They know the real
But-
Sharon, though, I'm sure.
Well, I know, but I still had to.
Yes.
No,
sure.
and actually, these people don't. I mean,
Oh, they don't?
I haven't hung out with these people a ton.
No, but are they
This is-
local? Are they from the area?
Yes.
Are they from Maine? Or are they from like
they watch
Mars? Are
television?
they from Mars? Because then they don't know you.
Okay.
Hold on, do they have the internet?
Anyway, so that was Friday.
That's amazing.
Saturday was boys poker night over at this one, and we'll hear more about that in a second.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
look at you.
So this is
Sunday,
what's getting you hooked, huh?
this is my gateway drug. So
Lucky number
we
17.
went to this place called Mr. Mike's in Haverhill, Mass. It's one of Shannon's favorite watering holes. It was his birthday on Sunday, so I said literally anything you want to do. So we went down to this place. It's a really fun place, and of course we were watching the Patriots. And then in Massachusetts, they also have this game called Keno. And if you've never played before, that's what it looks like. And it is a continuous drawing of numbers. Like it just keeps going and going and going. And there's the Keno graveyard from our games that we played. And you pick, I don't know, like 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. I guess it varies depending on like what the odds are going to be for you to win. And then you sit there and you decide how many games you want to play for. And you play 10 games at a time. And you sit there and you watch 10 or so of these drawings. And if you match 2 numbers, you get your money back, and if you match it. So I have to say, it was really
Kind of
fun.
addicting.
It was really, really fun, and I enjoyed playing it. So for the first time ever in my life, it was a type of game. Scratch tickets don't do anything for me. Cards don't do anything. Slot machines, none of that stuff has ever interested me. Once in a while, I'll buy a lottery ticket for the fun of it. But this was kind of fun. And it's not legal in Maine yet, so I'm safe for now. But yeah, that was really fun. And it was, and this place, Mr. Mike's, is really fun because
what's that place like?
It's a great big rectangular bar. With seats all the way around, so you're sitting there. It has like this camaraderie kind of feel, right? And there are, TV screens all the way around. It's basically a sports bar, and they have all the games on, and everyone's kind of, talking with each other. It's very Massachusetts, and I'm sure you know what I mean. And just really fun. Plus, I'm anonymous down there, which is
Isn't that the best?
so fun. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a really, really fun time.
Nice. Did you win money?
Yeah, how'd you do?
I think. I don't know. I don't know. Shannon was footing the bill, so I don't know. But I think
You
we
didn't
broke
hit it
even.
big. Any
Oh
of
no
them?
no.
Nothing
Nothing
larger than like $20 or something.
No, I think we might have hit 100 at one point. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
but when
pretty
you're betting
Yeah, sure.
$10, $15 at a time,
Yeah,
like
you're
that
playing-
gets eaten up quickly.
It does, yeah.
But I don't think, but we weren't down a ton.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's huge, I guess.
It's a win.
Yeah.
That's a good birthday.
How about you? I know you had poker night on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know what order the pictures are in, so I always get surprised by my weekend when they come up.
Okay.
So this is just me and 3 of the boys. We got to go out to dinner. I don't get to spend a lot of time with just some of them, but you'll know why in a second. But
Where
we
was
went
that?
to,
Oh,
that
you
was
went
at
to round
Texas Roadhouse because we never go there.
Oh.
That's round 1 because we never go there. And we went there because Karen and Maya went away for the weekend, so it was boys only this weekend.
fun.
So we did play poker Saturday night. My kids love it when we have poker at the house. They love it to help me set up. They are super helpful, and I'm always like, wow, this is so great of them. They want candy. So I serve candy for poker, so they know if they help, they'll get some candy out of it. Todd, also, if you notice, that chip stack is way bigger than the one you showed earlier.
Well, I
But
mean,
anyway.
there were different buy-ins and different.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
we weren't
just-
playing 25-cent.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
hands like
so
you.
there's
So
Karen and Maya.
we play a little bit bigger
at Savannah
stakes.
Bananas. So they were in New York at Yankee Stadium for the Savannah Bananas. So they were away for the weekend.
Wait, the Savannah Bananas played at Yankees.
Sold out,
Wait,
yeah.
prior to one of the. Oh no, the Sox
No.
were at home.
Yeah,
That's right.
no, it was on.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, they went to Yankees.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it was just me and the boys all weekend. So we had a good time.
That's
It was
fun.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
really
We had
fun.
a really good weekend. Very fun. Good stuff.
All right.
All right, the Best of Television honored last night in Los Angeles at the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards. The show had a big winner from Apple TV called The Studio. It made history. It won 13 awards, the most awarded comedy series in a single season. Another notable winner was for Stephen Colbert, winning Best Talk Show Series. He got the first and reportedly loudest standing ovation of the night, making jokes about putting out his resume after his show got canceled, which is, of course, going to happen next spring.
But at a certain point, and you can guess what that point was, I realized that in some ways we were doing a late night comedy show about loss. And that's related to love, because sometimes you only truly know how much you love something when you get a sense that you might be losing it.
Other big winners on the night, Adolescents took home 6 awards in the limited series category. 15-year-old Owen Cooper was Best Supporting Actor for his performance, the youngest person to ever win an Emmy in the limited supporting category in more than 40 years. The Pit won Best Drama, so it's like a modern-day ER, starring Noah Wyle, who won the Best Drama Actor Award for his performance as an ER doctor, so on brand for Noah Wyle.
Did you guys watch
Adolescents?
That's
Yes.
that 15-year-old. You guys
No.
watch that?
Yes.
You never saw it?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch that.
Yeah, never even heard of it.
Oh,
Oh my.
Oh,
no,
gosh.
we've talked about it before.
we have talked about
yeah,
it before,
maybe
but
maybe
Yeah.
you were on vacation.
I
You
don't
might
know.
have been on vacation. It was back in,
But yeah, no, I
It's-
haven't seen it.
it's heavy.
very heavy,
Yep.
but real.
Very real. Done in an interesting way, almost like documentary style.
One take.
Yeah.
The whole thing was done in one take.
Huh.
The whole series. It's like 8 episodes or something.
Wow.
They
And
just follow them around
That
with cameras.
kid, the 15-year-old that won, it was his first acting job ever.
He was amazing.
He was incredible.
That's awesome.
It's from like Britain or something.
I think
right?
it's in Ireland.
Ireland. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so all of the actors are, from the
accents
UK or
are
something.
thick.
Yeah. Like I had a tough time.
Yeah, there were times when I had to rewind
Good.
and re-listen to certain
Yeah.
parts of it because the accents are so thick you can't barely hear
Right.
what they're saying. And also it's, because it's so real, sometimes they're mumbling and sometimes, and so, but
And all in one take again. You don't notice a mess up in a line, but I'm sure they did.
yeah, they must have at
Yeah.
some point, right?
Yeah.
But they stay in character, they stay
Yep.
with the theme, they just roll with it.
It was
And
incredible.
crazy.
it was just the subject matter was important and
Yeah.
really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. You should definitely watch it.
All right.
I
It's on
mean,
the list.
you'll shed a few tears in the process, but it's worth watching.
Yeah, agreed. And the ER show,
Yeah,
The
the
Pit.
pit.
The Pit. Have you seen it?
I have.
Oh, you don't love it.
I had to stop watching it.
Why?
It was too real. It was too graphic.
There's a lot of
like,
gore.
I like medical drama. ER was probably one of my top 5 favorite shows of all
Okay.
time. I watched every episode start to finish. I love medical dramas. That was so real because I think it's because it was on HBO and it was less rules than regular TV.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like I know it's fake. Horror movies are not the same. You cut somebody's head off, I know it's not real. Like the stuff on The Pit looked so realistic the way they did it. I couldn't watch it. I had to watch like this, and I couldn't. So, and I love Noah Wyle, and I'm glad they're doing well, but I couldn't watch that.
It's very much like ER.
Of course.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you like DR and you can handle a little bit of realistic
handle that,
emergency
so-
room
Sure.
gore, then
And I did hear
you'll like it.
there was it was a statement or some commentary from like the American ER Association
yeah.
where the doctors said this is by far the most realistic medical show that's ever been on TV. Like this is actually what our lives are like.
Wow.
And so they endorsed it as well.
I
whatever.
like it even more now.
I know, and I do.
Yeah.
I love everything about it. I physically can't watch it. Like it's not enjoyable.
too
to
bad.
me.
I understand that. I'm able to look away during those times.
And I have to
then
watch the whole thing like
re-engage.
this. And Karen's like, oh, she loves it. Like, look, the bone is. Yeah, no,
No,
I can't.
yeah, no.
I don't want to see it. So.
And I don't want to hear descriptions
No,
of it
I
either.
don't,
want
either.
to
I don't want to hear
look
sounds.
away.
I don't want noises. I don't want to hear suction. I want nothing. Like, get it out.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I'm glad they won. I love the show, but I can't watch it.
All right, well, here are some big name celebrity birthdays we are celebrating today, starting with this Emmy Award-winning actor.
Excellent question. And the answer you're looking for lies right here.
Who are you? Really?
Really? I am just a figment of your imagination.
Today is Tommy Lee Jones's birthday. He is 79. Along with an Emmy, he has also earned an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards, and a fun fact, he went to Harvard in the 60s and was roommates with future U.S. Vice President Al Gore. Did not know that.
See, I did know that.
You did?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you know that he played on Harvard's
I did
football
not.
team?
I knew he was a football player, and I knew he was connected to Al Gore in college, but I did not know.
Yeah, it says he played on their undefeated team in
There you go.
1968.
Happy birthday, Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
Another actor whose birthday we are celebrating today, this guy.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
It is Tom Hardy's birthday. The London native is 48 years old. He made quite a name for himself in both film and television, starring in movies like Star Trek, Mad Max, Fury Road, The Dark Knight Rises, and Dunkirk. For TV, he's been on shows like Band of Brothers and Peaky Blinders. Another fun fact, he and Tommy Lee Jones have starred in both the Marvel and DCU film franchises. So, happy birthday, Tom Hardy.
All right, and one more for today. Football Hall of Famer Dan Marino is 64. The University of Pittsburgh grad spent his 17-season career in the NFL as a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, of course. That's why we all hate him around here. He is a 9-time Pro Bowl selection, 6-time first or second team All-Pro, and an NFL MVP. He is now known as one of the best quarterbacks in American football history.
I will take that a step further. Also, get him isotoners for his birthday. That was a commercial he used to do.
I remember
the
that.
gloves.
He is the greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl.
I was going to ask you
by a mile.
if you think
I
he
think
is.
so. Yeah. Quickest release in the history of football. Like when he got it out so fast. He had amazing receivers. Was a prolific.
Duper? Was Duper?
And Mark Duper hit them both.
And
He was just a great quarterback, and they could just never.
They never won a Super Bowl.
So, no. And he got there. He got there his first year, I believe.
Did they go undefeated in a year?
No.
Who's the undefeated?
That's the Patriots.
No, it's not actually. No, the Pats lost to the Giants in the regular season.
I understand. You're talking about the Dolphins' undefeated team?
Yes.
That was in the 70s. Marino wasn't even born.
That was my question.
Yeah, but no, not the Marino teams.
Oh, it wasn't.
He wasn't even
team.
alive.
Okay, but it was the Dolphins.
It was the Dolphins
was
back in the 70s. Yeah, that was Larry Zonka.
Okay.
Well, he was alive in the 70s.
Sure.
How old is he today?
He's 65.
64.
Okay, sure, he was alive.
Yeah.
He was alive.
All right.
There you go. Anyway, yes, it was a Dolphins.
It
was a Dolphins team
okay.
that went 16-0.
Okay.
Even though the
Yeah,
Patriots were
16.
18-0.
No, they weren't.
Until they were 18-1. Schools are back in session, and
they
there's a school
lost.
in Texas taking a new high-tech approach to hall passes. Check this out. They're using something called Securely. It's pretty strict. So it assigns students which bathroom they get to go to, puts them on a timer. Students have to request to use the bathroom by going online. Once teachers approve the request, a 10-minute timer begins. If the students are gone longer than that, they get checked up on. School administrators say it's in an effort to keep the kids safe and focused on learning.
Now I know where all our kids are. Our students don't have their cell phones. They can't meet up in the restroom. All these systems are making sure that our focus is always on kids learning.
It would be safe when we're having drills or like evacuation, so like the administrators know where you're at.
The school there, the students have to put their phones in pouches so they're not on them throughout the day.
So cracking down on a couple of issues that have been problems in the past.
There must be some more information that we don't have here, because this has to have been a problem
Right.
to get this severe.
Well, a lot of schools are eliminating the cell phone thing.
That's fine, but to request to go to the bathroom, which they have to do online, so they're going to have to use whatever device they were given in the middle of their class lesson to stop listening for a second, to go over and request a bathroom visit, wait for the approval for the bathroom visit.
So there's more
that's
to this.
also
You're saying there's more to this story.
There must be a major problem for it to get to that level.
Well, I think this is true in schools everywhere, that this has become an issue with kids congregating in the bathroom, often doing things they're not supposed to be doing on school grounds or possibly not supposed to be doing at all, according to the law. And vandalism in school bathrooms has also become a huge issue. So I'm wondering if it's also not a way to sort of track who's where when they're trying to maybe narrow down who might have committed some vandalism. And at first when I saw they put you on a timer, I thought, oh geez, that, that's maybe a little harsh.
Personal too. Like what if?
Well, that's, I know. Not without getting into it too deeply.
I know
you
you
all
might-
know what we're saying,
might need a few minutes in the
right?
bathroom, so.
But I feel like 10 minutes, unless they have to walk a long way to get
You
there.
don't know my son.
Oh, okay.
He's been
All
there
right.
for half an hour, that kid.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I have a bunch of questions. I feel like I'm not going to ask any of them.
All right, so let's move on to this.
Thank you for that.
Hundreds of foodies coming together in Portland. We haven't talked about food yet, and we're 28 minutes into this thing.
What show is
All
this?
right, so it was over the weekend. They celebrated Franco-American culture by eating the iconic French-Canadian dish poutine. The second annual Poutine Fest took place at Thompson's Point. It featured more than a half dozen local restaurants and vendors. They were showing off their own unique take on poutine. Some stayed close to the basics: fries, cheese curd, and gravy. Others branched out to infuse Tennessee whiskey or Irish flavors into their dish. Poutine is a relatively new food, I guess, dating back to the 50s. 50s and 60s. Event organizers say the cuisine is still very popular despite it being relatively new. I thought it was one of those old traditions.
Yeah, me too.
But with poutine, we're kind of looking as like the French-Canadian pizza. So it's something that brings all people together in the community, that they all love poutine, they get to learn about French-Canadian culture, just like they would at like St. Patrick's Day or at an Italian festival.
Poutine.
Poutine.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with him.
Okay, and nor am I. The overall prize of the day went
He's
to
just showing off. It's
Portland Lobster Company, and their, as you guys pointed out, lobster topped
looks good.
poutine,
There you go.
or poutine, however you want to say it.
Depends where you're from. Do you like that poutine?
Heck yeah.
Do you really?
I do. I really do. Yeah. I mean, it's more like a meal, to be honest. It's not like, you know, I mean, because you can get it with like pulled pork, or I mean, you can put lobster, you can put anything on it, any meat on it, so you can make it a meal.
So it's funny, one of the things that I ate over the weekend that I don't normally eat a ton of wasn't poutine, but it was potato skins topped with chili and cheese, and they were so good. So I'm not opposed to the idea of that as much as, for me, French fries are supposed to be crispy.
So,
even when I'm just eating just fries, the
like a texture,
crispier,
soggy.
the better.
Yeah.
And that's why when you put gravy on it, it has to make it soggy, right?
Yeah, I respect that. I mean, it's like a cereal. Like a lot of people like they want to eat their cereal fast because they don't want it to get soggy from the milk. I don't care about sogginess. Like I actually want my cereal soggy, to be honest. I don't mind a French fry that is soggy.
Okay.
Because I feel like it retains the salt better, and I like salt, and like I want like a lot of salt on my French fries.
Well,
and if they're crispy, it like bounces off.
Okay.
The salt bounces off.
Okay.
And
Well,
that drives me
between
nuts.
the fries themselves, the gravy, and the cheese curd,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
getting
yeah.
plenty of salt in that dish.
I just texted you yesterday too.
Why?
This is around food because I made something new yesterday for football I hadn't made before.
Yeah.
It was boneless ribs, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I did a bacon maple chipotle sauce, and I soaked it for like 2 hours. And so it was sweet with the maple, but spicy with the chipotle, and had like a bacon flavor to it. And I put the carrots and it all together in one Instant Pot. It's 20 minutes in the Instant Pot's greatest invention of all time. 20 minutes, and you're cutting with a spoon.
Wow.
Like insane. Even my kids liked it.
Wow.
And they're like, wow. And I go, I know. I have some
Sounds so
leftovers. I
good.
should buy. Anyway,
I
almost sent you a picture.
had an egg salad craving yesterday.
I saw that.
I made egg salad.
I had to skip past that.
Why? I had a picture. There was a picture of it in there.
I
forgot
know, that's
to talk
why I
about
skipped past
Dude,
it.
it's so good. Egg salad is so good. It's
so
like a
gross.
classic, like from your
Smells
childhood.
awful,
I don't know.
tastes awful,
I think my grandmother used to
mayonnaise,
make that.
eggs.
Do you like it when the eggs are still warm and then you
Yeah,
add the mayonnaise?
Yeah. I put mayonnaise. I put mustard in there. I chopped up pickles. I didn't have raw onion. I really wish I had raw onion. I didn't have raw
You could
onion.
have come over.
I
have an extra
I
one.
needed to like knock on a neighbor's door for raw onion.
Did you really?
I didn't, but I should. I
okay,
wish I
all
had.
right.
And then I put some paprika in there too, smoked paprika.
That sounds really
That was
good,
great.
actually.
It's really good.